and the gorge was the gorge was formed by meltwater. The gorge was formed by meltwater. Can't say meltwater. Well, I was looking through some of my old YouTube videos the other day, and one of my earliest ones was a walk around the Cheddar Gorge, which is England's deepest gorge. It's in Somerset in the south of England. So as I was watching the video, I could see quite a few mistakes, like shaky camera work, stuff like that.
And we're off to Cheddar Gorge.
So I thought it'd be a good idea to come back, reshoot it, and hopefully show off the things I've learned in the last few years of watching endless YouTube tutorials on filmmaking. It's quite a chilly day. It's foggy. The fog was very thick driving over the top when I was coming here. It was quite hair-raising, in fact. So I'm hoping we'll get some clearer weather because I want to try and fly my drone. Instead of starting down at the bottom of the gorge like we did last time, I'm near the top. I've parked here, a place called Black Rock, which we did cover in one of our other videos briefly. So I'm going to go up onto the top now. I'm hoping the fog will clear. At the moment, it's not looking very good at all. It's quite a muddy, cold November day. That's one good thing with the fog, is that it keeps all the mosses nice and green. Really nice, strong green colours. I do believe that the fog is starting to clear a bit, which is great. And no wind, well, a slight bit. The bracken looking a nice golden brown colour. Lovely. Okay, so I'm just going through some woods now. There's quite a few paths everywhere, so I hope I'm going in the right direction. This, I nearly missed this. As I was talking to the camera, I nearly walked straight past all this. This is nice, very Lord of the Rings. I'm out up on the top now, and yes, there are some good views. It's still quite misty, but the things nearest to us I can see is a Cheddar Reservoir, which is almost completely circular. So it does look calm enough, so hopefully I'm going to be able to fly my drone. Oh, cool. Oh, that is a steep drop down there. Oh, there's a couple just over there, just stood on the edge looking over. Oh, making my stomach turn. I can't do that now. And the maximum depth of the gorge is 137 metres, which I think this is this bit here actually. It's a long way down. With a near vertical cliff face to the south. The gorge was formed by meltwater floods during the cold periglacial periods, which have occurred over the last 1.2 million years. During the ice ages, permafrost blocked the caves down below with ice and frozen mud and made the limestone impermeable. When this melted during the summers, water was forced to flow on the surface and carved out the gorge. During warmer periods, the water flowed underground through the permeable limestone, creating the caves and leaving the gorge dry. That today, much of the gorge has no river until the underground Cheddar Gorge River emerges in the lower part from Goff's Cave. I think that part there is called the Pinnacles. Probably the most dramatic part of the gorge, especially when you're driving up. That direction over there is Crook Peak. It's probably the only proper peak on the Mendip Hills, I would imagine. Most of the Mendip's just quite sort of flat. It's like a large plateau, really. Just down there are some of the famous mountain goats. When I was driving down the upper part of the gorge, just before I parked, a couple of them actually jumped out in front of me. Lucky I wasn't going fast. Well, there's the village down there, so I haven't got too long to go now, and then I should drop down. But at the moment I'm still on one of these little outcrops. But you have to go so careful because you could very easily go over the edge. I'm standing as close as I dare, but not too close. Here's an information board here telling a bit more about the gorge. It says that it's 3 miles long. That is quite a long one for us anyway, for in England. It shows pictures of all the different things that you could see. We've seen the mountain goats, but there's things like, I don't know, eagles, vultures, I don't know what they're called. There's ferns and flowers, stuff like that. Oh, parts of this path is quite tricky. All these lumps of rock sticking out are very slippery because they've been worn down over the years where people have just done this walk. It's such a popular walk. Oh, I always seem to get stuck going through these bloody gates. So here's the lookout tower. As expected, it is closed. It's a shame. I do like going up the top of there. And on here is we're showing basically the walk that I'm doing now. I'm here. And this is, where did I start? Started up here somewhere. So I've come down here, down to there, I've got to drop down, and then the walk does go up the other side, but I think I'm going to walk up the gorge because it's very quiet today. I wouldn't normally do it on a busy day, but because it's so quiet, I think it'll be okay. By the lookout tower is Jacob's Ladder, which is a paying attraction of quite a few steps. And of course it's shuttered today because you're in the middle of another coronavirus lockdown. So I'm willing to take the chance, go down and see if I can climb over the fence or something at the bottom of the gate. If I can't do it, that means I've got to come all the way back up again. Do I take the chance? Yeah, I could do with the exercise. A lot of steps. There's a couple of points as you're coming down the steps where you can stop and have a rest, which is nice. And look at the history of the place. And this is the history of the Jacob's Ladder. And it says that the south side of the gorge has been owned by the Longleat estate. Oh, that's someone's owned Longleat House, near the lines of Longleat. And the Thynne Thynne family since 1558. The 19th and early 20th centuries, entrepreneurial tenants took advantage of the scenic landscape, adding exciting diversions to entice tourists. The coming of the Great Western Railway in 1869 swiftly increased Cheddar's popularity as a tourist destination. So George Cox and Richard Goff's cave discoveries proved huge draws, and local mill owner Roland Pavey was keen to emulate their success. He introduced a number of attractions including Pavy's Cave, Jacob's Ladder, the White Tower and Joyland. Okay, so here's Jacob's Ladder, the history of it, and it says it's 274 steps actually. It's inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 28, which says, Jacob dreamed and behold a ladder set up on earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. At the foot of the ladder, a palm reader and a clairvoyant, La Louie, would sit and wait in her little hut, ready to accost tourists when alerted by a creaky step. The steps lead to a lookout tower known as White Tower, Mystic Tower or Beacon Tower, which is the one at the top we saw just now. It overlooked a pleasure garden at the summit known as Joyland or Pavy's Hill Pleasure Garden. At the time of construction, the hillside was devoid of trees, quite a different view from today. 270, 21, 22, oh, I've forgotten. Back up, start again. Kidding. Oh, that's good. It's open. Oh, I was lucky. Didn't fancy going back up to the top. Up a lot of steps. Okay, so now we are in the village, which is going to be very quiet today. As I said earlier, we are in the middle of another coronavirus lockdown, so all the shops, non-essential shops, which is virtually every shop here, is closed because there's lots of tourist shops. Yeah, that building's been closed for a long time. I don't think I can ever remember it being open, to be honest. But I do like the paintings on the side. So up there is the walk that goes back across the top, but I'm just going to go straight up the gorge, I think. There's not many cars coming down or motorbikes, so I think it'll be okay. So that rock up over there, there's someone climbing up it. It's called Lion Rock. It resembles the face of a lion when seen from the angle down there. So I've got the walk now, back up the gorge. I don't know how long it's going to take me, to be honest. I'll try and walk quite fast. There is a bit more traffic around now. Nowhere near as busy as it would normally get there, to be honest. This is the most narrow part now. Got to get through quick. That was good, no traffic. In the past I've seen coaches and cars getting stuck there and no one wants to back up. And it can be a nightmare, especially on bank holidays. So, above me now is the pinnacles. Cool, it's quite steep in places, this road. Well, the gorge is getting shallower now, so I'm hoping I'm not too far away from the car because I'm thirsty, hungry and tired. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea walking back up the gorge. Even though it's very quiet, much quieter than normal, there's still a lot of blind bends, so a car could just suddenly come upon you. And if there isn't a grass verge, you are stuck in the road. So I don't know if I'll do this walk again. Next time I think I'll just go up the other side of the gorge and along like the full walk said. At last I can see my car. Cool, I'm really hot because even though it's November, it's very mild. It's 12 degrees and no wind at all, so I'm overdressed, I think. I'm sweating buckets. So I'm just gonna have one quick last look at the moss on the walls here. Okay, so that's it for me then. Another great day out walking. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.